Somebody who leans his sukkah on the posts of his bed, which means that he's got on his bed, on the actual bed, he puts posts on, and then on top of that schach. So he's leaning his schach on the posts of the bed. Keshera, it's kosher. Rabbi Yehuda says, if it can't stand by itself, Pusula, it's possible, and the Mishnah doesn't say any explanation. Why does Rabbi Yehuda hold that it's going to be possible just because it can't stand itself? Now the Gemara is going to explain that. My time at Rabbi Yehuda question mark. What is the reason of Rabbi Yehuda that says that a sukkah on top of a bed which can't stand by itself is possible? Pligi bar, Reb Zera, Reb Abba Bamamal, comma. Reb Zera and Reb Abba Bamamal argue about this. Chad Amar, one of them says, keva, comma, because it is not a fixed structure. A bed can be moved around, and the sukkah, which
it won't make it possible.
And that's why it is possible.
That's why it is possible.
Yeah. Rabbi Yehuda said, then it's psula, right? In the Mishnah. So we're explaining Rabbi Yehuda now. Rabbi Yehuda holds that it's possible, comma, or whatever. That man holds because it's not fixed, because you can move the bed around, and when you're moving the bed around, you're also moving the sukkah around, which comes out that you've got a sukkah which is not fixed, it's not permanent structure. V'chad Amar.
What does Baron Mamal Chad?
Again, my time Rabbi Yehuda question mark. Pligi bar Reb Zera Reb Abba Mamamal, comma. Reb Zera and Reb Abba Mamamal argue, comma. Chad Amar, one says Sheina keva, comma. One of them holds, doesn't say which one which.
If it can't
because you can.
Itself, it's not.
No, because it can't stand by itself, and it's on the bed, and the bed is movable. So the sukkah which is connected to that bed is considered a movable sukkah.
So why is it canvas sukkah? Okay.
Well, and it has to be fixed to the ground, right?
Yeah, but canvas is movable.
No one fixes a canvas sukkah to the ground.
What sukkah? Yeah, you can literally take it to
They literally fly away.
They take it to like the safari.
Yeah, but you have
Yeah,
to,
okay,
you
but
have
when
to
they put
stick
it down, they
ground.
stick it to the ground.
When someone sits inside it, it's not going anywhere.
I'm saying when it's windy, they flew away. Do you remember?
Yeah, sometimes. Exactly, but yeah, it could be it's called Rosh Hashanah, so I don't know exactly.
Just don't leave the baby in it.
Anyway. V'chad Amar, and one says, Amida, B'dava HaMakabel Tumah. A bed is a Dava Makabel Tumah, yeah, because it's something which can be lay on, then it's a Dava Makabel Tumah, and therefore, Chazal said you should. Mamida means holding it up. Mamida, B'dava Makabel Tumah, it's being held up by something which is Makabel Tumah, and the reason. Held up as in held up. Is the reason why it's being held up.
Sukkah can be Makabel Tumah then as well.
And
What are you worried?
that if he
one
uses something
second.
that's going to be Makabel Tumah, then he'll use for his schach.
Stone.
Yeah.
No, so schach is definitely not to be.
The wood that you make the sukkah off.
Yeah, but
No,
we're
what
worried.
Pshuta Kliyat is not Makabel Tumah. Only Barzel. Pshuta Kliyat, something which is wooden and flat, is not
Yeah,
Makabel
but
Tumah.
the sukkah isn't completely flat.
What do you mean? What do you
The
mean?
small things that go around it.
No, they have to be made out of thing.
Yeah.
What the Rishonim do discuss is that the reason why you're not allowed to make a sukkah out of Davar Makabel Tumah is because they're worried that if you use the walls out of Davar Makabel, you also use the schach. So they ask, just like you're not allowed to use a schach Davar Makabel Tumah, you're also not allowed to use something which doesn't grow from the ground. And therefore, how can we build our sukkahs with stone? You're not allowed to use stone for schach because it doesn't grow in the ground. So how can we use stone? That's what the Rishonim discuss already. And the Rishonim answer, because people won't start using stone for their schach. People know jolly well. No, they just know that it's poshut to them that you're not allowed to use stone for
No
your
one
schach.
uses stone as a roof. Why would you use stone?
Why
as a
not?
roof?
Why not?
In Israel, it's all concrete.
What do you mean? Everywhere.
Really?
Sure.
Are they?
Yeah,
yeah.
They just pour cement everywhere. Everything, the whole structure.
That's
The whole
really-
building's-
hello,
They
it's
build
all-
so quick
It's
in
all the
Israel.
metal
No
stuff.
membrane roofs there?
Yeah.
No, the whole thing's cement.
Cement straight through, or everywhere. Two balls
how
together,
do it.
pour cement.
Cotton beam. Nice.
You're lucky you get that.
Right. Anyway, so that's the two machlekes. Yes, we got machlekes. Is it B'davar Makabel Tumah, or is it because of?
I didn't get that.
Is it because of Davar Makabel Tumah, or is it because of?
Not there, no, not in Israel.
Keva. My benayihu comma. What's the difference between these two pshatim? Kagoin. The difference between will be what happens if you've got a case. Kagoin, for example, shenat. He stuck into the ground. Shvudin shabarzel, metal rods. V'sichich aleim comma, and he put schach on top of those. Lemanda amar according to
Posts
Lemanda.
or rods?
Rods, posts, all the same thing. Metal beams, something metal. Now he stuck them into the ground so they're strong. So Lemanda Amar, that the problem of bed is Lefi She'ena Keva. The reason why you're not allowed to use a bed to hold up your sukkah is because the bed has no Keva. Then Hariyesh La Keva, over here, these metal beams are fixed because they're fixed into the ground. However, according to Manda Amar, that the problem with a bed is that it is Makabel Tumah, and therefore we don't let you use something which is Makabel Tumah to hold up the schach, Harry Mamid, B'davar Makabel Tumah, full stop. Still over here by metal posts, then we still don't know. Well, we've got a machlokes. So according to that man, that will be a problem. We don't have any right for anything. The nafkamina between these two pshatim will be whether when you use metal sticks stuck into the ground, so it's fixed, so there's no problem of not being fixed, but there's a problem that it's being held up because it is makabel tumah.
Metal rods and makabel tumah.
Yeah, metal rods are makabel tumah. Only pshutikili, it's not makabel tumah. So metal rods are makabel tumah, and therefore they'll have the same problem as a bed. Right, now there's a new Gemara. Ama Abaya, says Abaya. Loi shonu ela somach. This that Rabbi Yehuda said there's a problem of making a sukkah on a bed is only if you literally put the posts on the bed and then on top of that you put the schach. However, avosichich al gab hamita, which means he's not leaning the schach on the bed. He's putting his own posts into the ground and it happens to be on top of the bed. So now they're stuck to the ground. Kishera, it is kosher. My timer question mark. What is the reason why when you just put the schach on top of the bed but not leaning on the bed is it not a problem? Says the Gemara, simple. According to the Manda Amma, the problem when it is leaning on the bed is that it's movable, it moves around with the bed. Then Hariyesh Lakeva, because these posts are in the ground, and therefore there's no problem them being moved around, comma. Lemanda Amma, and according to the Manda Amma, the problem of leaning your schach on the bed itself is that the bed is makabel tumah, and therefore there's a problem of making your walls holding up your sukkah with the davar makabel tumah. When you take a flat piece of wood and you stick it straight into the ground, then a flat piece of wood is not makabel tumah, and therefore there'll be no problem of making your, just because it's on top of the bed, there's no problem because you've stuck these woods into the ground and put the schach on top, and therefore there's absolutely no issue with all this, and therefore even Rabbi Yehuda will agree it's kosher to kol alma.
Simich means
Samach leaning.
And sichich means on top of.
Yeah, sichich al. So and the Mishnah was a soymech sukkah hamata, and here it was sichich al gav hamita. He just put schach on top of the bed, but it wasn't leaning on the bed because it had its own posts into the ground. So that's the end of that Gemara. Yes, we discussed already. The Rishonim discussed why is there no problem of making your walls out of something which is not growing from the ground like stones, which was the normal thing to do, and that the Rishonim say because people will not get mixed up to think that they're allowed to also use it for the schach, because everybody knows that a stone is not something which is kosher for schach. Okay, should we go a bit further? Do just the Mishnah?
Yeah.
Let's just do a Mishnah. We really need the Gemara for Parshas Bamidbar and the Mishnah, but we'll just start it. Sukkah Hamaduvleles, a sukkah which is maduvleles. So we're going to have in the Gemara two pshatim what maduvleles means. The two pshatim we're going to see in the Gemara, you don't think you have to write this as a footnote, but the two pshatim of the Gemara are going to be either maduvleles means you've got schach up, down, going like this all the way along. So that means when the sun's shining from the side, you'll have a lot of sun coming in. That is one pshat in maduvleles. The other pshat in maduvleles is that it's very bitty. There's not a lot of schach. However, it still is shade. Yeah, we'll see it in the Gemara. It still is more shade than sun. Okay, we'll see those two pshat in the Gemara. And any sukkah which has more shade than sun.
Two different cases?
That's going to be the Gemara is going to discuss depending on what pshat in the Mishnah is.
Obviously, if it's the second shot, then it's just a follow-on.
Exactly. Good. He's good. No, you chapped out. Very good. He is kosher. Now, one more halacha. Hamu'uva kamin bayis. If you make schach very, very thick, like a house, like a roof of a house, afal pi mu'uva. Is it in Ivrit? How do you say thick in Ivrit? Aveh. Hamu'uva kamin bayis. Someone who makes schach, which is thick like a house. Even though you can't see the stars through your schach, keshera, it's kosher. Now there are those Rishonim who are medayik from this Mishnah that it's kosher even if you can't see the stars. However, lechatchila, one should be able to see the stars. Although it's known that Reb Chaim Brisker, they said that they used to say a guy once walked into Reb Chaim Brisker, it was pouring rain outside, and he walked in, he came drenched into the sukkah, and he walked in and they were all stone dry, and they all looked at him like, how do you get so wet? He said it's pouring rain outside. He had such thick schach that the rain hadn't yet come through even though it was pouring. So clearly, some Rishonim say that when it says that it's a problem, then Kechavim doesn't mean the regular sun. It doesn't mean the stars, it means sun rays. And that's the problem, only sun rays. And another idea that is on this Mishnah, by the way, what does an Kechavim nirim mitoicha? If you stand on the ground and you try to look through a roof which got very small holes, you can't see the stars through those small holes. However, you climb up and go right next to the hole, you can see the stars. So some Rishonim hold the whole problem of not being able to see the stars is only if you can't see them right by you standing by the hole. But the fact that you can't see them when you're in your sukkah, that's not a problem. Yeah, what's the problem?
We have a halacha that you need to see whatever it is, stars, sun rays.
You don't have to. The Gemara Mishnah says, even if you can't see.
Not this Mishnah. A different Mishnah says that you need to
This is the Mishnah. This is the Mishnah. From this Mishnah, we say that it's better. It says even though you can't see them, it's kosher, but it's better to be able to see the stars. And now the question is, what's called seeing the stars? Do you have to be seeing them from low down below, or is it good enough when you just see them from on top near the hole? Okay.